Okay, so the pros and cons of utilitarian versus traditional. I mean, the video basically ended up saying not one is better than the other, but obviously there are pros and cons of it. I think if you're too much on one or the either side, you're probably missing some things, or you're like, I guess, too stuck in your ways because we should all be flexible. So, the more traditional, I guess maybe one of the cons is you're not moving upwards professionally as probably you could or should, depending on what you believe. And more utilitarian, you're too work obsessed, I would say, and you're missing out on a lot of family moments. So that would be how I would explain that. Where do I fall on this? I guess I would say I'm more on the man, it's hard to, I know you can't, nobody's exactly 50-50 on everything. But I guess the American in me would be more utilitarian because I feel like that takes care of the other. Without that, not taking care of the other, you might, have issues with the family part if you're not taking care of them, from my perspective. But also make sure I make time for my family and certain traditions I grew up with. So, I mean, for instance, growing up, we came to my grandparents' house every Sunday after church for dinner. Not that I'm doing that, but that is still my foundation. So, holidays, things like that. But I'd say I'm more utilitarian if I had to have an answer. That's pretty much why I'm back in school at 43 years old, soon to be 44. So that's how I would explain that. Now, on the Bennett scale, I think I'd fall into acceptance with a little bit of minimalization. Minimalization as far as like if you have a culture I feel like is infringing on mine or is harmful to mine, then I'm definitely minimalizing it. But I'm very accepting of all the positive aspects of every culture. Every culture has positives and negatives, but I think I'm pretty accepting, and that's where I am mostly. But there's some minimalization too, if I'm being honest, because some of the stuff is destructive within every culture. Within my culture, there's a lot of things I would like to change about it, but there's also some positive aspects to it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I grew up more of a traditional religious family, but we weren't super crazy either. We knew how to have fun at the same time, even though I grew up in that kind of environment. So that's where I would put myself on the Bennett scale.